I'm a mess, and I'm sorry. I launched the stream and I didn't even have my headphones, so I ran. Well, what's up, everybody? Thank you for coming. Thank you for waiting. Um, Wanted to go over some of the things that we could talk about with Savanah, Matthew, the story, baby Fabian, and I waited all day because I was just kind of like waiting to see when there's stuff to actually talk about. I didn't want to just go live just to go live. So there's a couple things. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Welcome. If you could hit the like button, I'd appreciate that. Let me see what you guys are saying. Thank you, Danda. Appreciate that. So many people just waiting for like information and updates on the story, and very little bits trickling coming out. And I think there's going to be more. I do think there's going to be more tonight because there's this reporter that said more updates at 9 and 10, which I think is their time, Texas time. But let me show you this clip in the meantime. This came out today. College national championship game is on. What the hell's that? Check this out. Okay, if it had audio.
Because of the time of the murder and the time the bodies were found, I'm not able to have an open casket for Matthew. So even that person.
And the interesting thing about this, right, is that he said he's not able to have an open casket. Though I did find a reporter's video that was actually there at the funeral, and he said that for whatever reason it ended up being open casket, I guess. The other thing too we're going to talk about is I saw multiple people on Facebook talking about baby Fabian being cremated. But according to others, family had said that the baby wasn't going to be cremated. I don't know where this is from. They said that the baby was going to be in Savanah's hand. One reporter, he could be wrong. We're going to listen to a little bit of it, but he said it in Spanish. The baby was being cremated. There's this other thing too about baby Fabian's last name, and that the baby was keeping the mother's name and not the father's name, and there was some kind of going back and forth. And we could talk about that in the chat too. How you guys feel about what last name the baby should keep. Excuse me, doesn't matter. But all right, so let me rewind this.
Because of the time of the murder and the time the bodies were found, I'm not able to have an open casket for Matthew. So even that person who threw the towel knew a crime had been committed, and just by not reporting it, I'm gonna have to have a close casket for Matthew. So most definitely, I'm pushing for that third person. I want any and everyone involved in any way, shape, or form held to the highest
prosecuted to the fullest.
So I just thought it was interesting here too that again they're reaffirming and mentioning the third person, the towel, which I agree. I definitely think there's at least another person that has knowledge. I don't know to what like the involvement that they could have. The hyphenation, actually, I think that's not a bad idea. I see a few people saying hyphenated. I'm biased. So I would say dad's last name. You know what I'm saying? My daughter has my last name. That's what I would say. But I don't know. Maybe to try to come to the middle and meet in the middle. Maybe hyphenated. And the reporter here, this is what the caption said with the reporter. Said, too badly decomposed for funeral. Matthew Guerra's father talks about burying his son and how much the murderer took away from him and Savanah Soto's family. More updates between 9 and 10. So, I kind of, it sucks when they put out these little 30-second clips, the teasers, but I guess we'll have to wait for more. And the more that they'll probably give us is like another 20 seconds. That's how the news is. It'd be nice if we actually saw a longer format video. These are some clips that were posted online. They showed a little bit of this. So they're showing like it's really a nice looking casket. I guess some people that were there, which there was a lot of confusion going on because some people were like, I saw people on Facebook asking like, "Oh, can they go? Can they go?" And like they thought it was like a public thing. But one of the last posts that the family had made is like it's just for like really close people and family and friends. So I don't know if random people ended up showing up to this. What do you guys say in the chat? Hyphenation, doesn't matter. Last name. Yeah, D-Lo said, get out of the Stone Age. I'm so glad my daughter has my last name. It's amazing. I appreciate it. I think that's how it should go. But I understand. There's certain. I had a long conversation with a friend a while back about that whole thing, and like, I know a woman have been in situations where like, you know, the kid will take the last name, they get married or something like that. Things don't work out, and then the father's not even around. So in some cases, the father's not even around for some of these women, right? And then you're stuck with your kid having the father's last name. And I heard it can be a real biat, you know what I'm saying, to try to like change the name back and go through all this paperwork for somebody that's not even there. I'm not saying that's the case with this, you know, with Savanah and Matthew, but just in perspective, I remember a friend of mine told me that from a woman's perspective, how much of a pain in the butt that can be if you have somebody that's not even there, all the legalities and stuff like that. Okay, and so I wanted to share this too for people wondering. You know, this was posted in one of the Facebook groups. Yes, they weren't married. I wasn't married to my daughter's mother either. I was there and I signed the birth certificate. But that's a whole thing, right? I don't know if I should do a poll on that, but I'm always kind of curious to hear what people have to say. But I do agree the hyphenation. I feel like that's kind of the middle ground for this kind of situation, you know? So for those wondering, services for Savanah Soto and baby Fabian, January 12th, they put 2023 here. They must have meant 2024. And this is the Sunset Northwest Funeral Home. This is the address. From 4 to 5, it's for family. So here they're opening it up to the public. 4 to 5 is for family. 5 to 7 is for the public. Rosary at 7 p.m. Also, that's the rosary. And then the funeral is January 13 at this place, the St. John Evangelist Catholic Church. They're doing a mass from 10 to 11 a.m. And then at 11 to 12 p.m., sunset funeral, 12 noon, depart funeral home. So, you know, you can take a screenshot if you're local. They have a lot of local people watching. If you're local and you're curious to go to that, you know. I don't know if they were married or not, because you know that I thought the charge said married, or I don't know how the Texas law works, so I don't know. I really don't know. That's a good question. You want to do a poll? Screw, let's do a poll. We're not in a rush. There's a couple other things quite a bit of things I want to talk about. Should baby Fabian? Who's last name? So we'll put Soto. And then I'll add the alternate option. Okay, there we go. Pinky in the chat says Texas law: if you live together 6 months or file income tax together, common law married. Oh, okay. So yeah, we got that out of the way. Got the basic information there. I think this might be the same. Oh, this is the same video. And I did look at the GoFundMe today too. Savannah's maxed out. Matthews, I think, got like 5,000, maybe 6,000, something like that. I want to play this video too from
Side. Police responded to an apartment on Arbor Ridge around 2 this morning. They found a man stabbed in the midsection. They say it all started young college hiring 8. The little girl was stabbed with
this is a
6-year-old. The little girl was stabbed to death last Wednesday, allegedly by her mother.
That's another Texas story, unrelated, but I saw it happen. Like they were talking about it today. Mom stabbed a little girl to death. So the Guerrero family was today at 5:30 p.m. Funeral will be held the next day. So they had a visitation thing, I guess, at Mission Park Funeral Chapel. The funeral will be the next day. So Tuesday at 10 a.m., which I guess Texas time, according to this website. And this is the whole thing that came into play, maybe some of the drama. Not sure if you saw this, but baby Fabian will not have Matthew's last name, according to this here. Fabian Soto. So people are here saying they aren't married, so legally that's correct. So let's say, I don't know what the situation is, but let's say that Matt signed the birth certificate, and on those documents, that's what it is. It's still not legal. And honestly, if their relationship was, they had ups and downs, but if they really loved each other, would they have accepted maybe just a hyphenation? Would a hyphenation be okay? People are saying it's sad. They should have included a dad. Well, being that there isn't even a birth certificate, this is for obituary purposes. It could just be obituary. I don't know. I'm curious what, if there's a tombstone, what it's going to be. This could be just the paper that somebody filled out, They weren't married, so it goes by mom's last name. My daughter had her dad's last name, but when she was born in the hospital, she was known as mine, which was Baby Potts. Everything has my last name on it from the hospital. Wait, what? So my daughter had her dad's last name, but when she was born in the hospital, she was known as mine, which was a Baby Potts. I don't know. I mean, my daughter had her last name as mine. Let me see what you guys are saying. Some people are saying it's messed up. Doesn't really matter at this point, people are saying. Somebody says baby wasn't born. I don't know. So that's one of the things that people were going back and forth, Samantha here on Facebook said, I'm unmarried and I still give our son his dad's last name. However, everything included his discharge stuff said my last name. Oh, okay. Seems right in Texas it says moms get full custody / rights if unmarried. Maybe that's why. I don't know. And of course I'm biased, so Why you skip my comment? Where? In Facebook or in the thousands of people in the YouTube live? Oh, if you guys could like, please, I'd appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming tonight. All right, thank you. Risa Cat says, my daughter has mine and her dad's last name hyphenated. We had many back and forths. I wanted her to have my last name since we weren't married, which I'm thankful for now. It's fairly common. You want the follower countdown? I can do that too. We put that up real quick. Yeah, we're almost at 200K. I'm really, really curious about that third person, what it's going to entail, if anything. Maybe they'll just cooperate and call it a day. We're at 199, 179. It's interesting how people have so many different feelings on the whole last name thing, All right, so we'll keep it moving. So this guy here, this was in Spanish. It's 20 minutes long. We're not going to do the whole thing, But I wanted you guys to hear it. I can translate the part about the ashes, which maybe he messed up.
Bolivia, reportero para Univisión 41.
So he's with Univision.
Matthew Guerra, les comento, adentro hay fotos, hay globos, hay flores para conmemorar a Matthew, que pues...
So he's just describing what's inside, flowers, pictures to commemorate Matthew. I'll skip a little bit ahead.
Los amigos, no me voy a poder acercar mucho.
He said he won't be able to get too close.
Reportó la desaparición de Savanah y del novio debido a que no asistió a su cita para dar a luz un día viernes. Ahora mismo vamos a entrar a la...
He's just giving a little bit of the background of the story. I hope I didn't skip the whole...
al velorio, pero les repito, para poder mostrar respeto hacia los familiares, a los amigos, no me voy a acercar, no voy a hablar y nada más nos vamos a tener a una cierta distancia.
So he's saying he's going to keep his distance. He's not going to get too close out of respect.
Les repito, ahí tienen el cuerpo presente. Hubo un
The body's there present.
video donde se dice que el propio padre no iba a tener la caja abierta.
So they're saying that his box was not going to be open.
Al público, abierta para que lo vieran, ya que pues tristemente los cuerpos fueron encontrados días después de que los asesinaron y estaban
Bodies were found days later.
en un estado pues que no se podía ver bien para los familiares.
In a really bad condition, so they were not going to do an open casket.
Si usted me entiende. Le repito, por respeto a los familiares, vamos a entrar ahora mismo, no voy a hablar, vamos a quedarnos callados, pero es para que usted pueda observar lo que están viviendo los familiares y los amigos de...
Sorry. Hopefully they don't try to... It's not supposed to do that. I have the blockers on that browser. But...
las cenizas del bebé para que traer al bebé, quedarnos callados, pero es para que usted pueda observar lo que están viviendo los familiares y los amigos de Matthew Guerra hasta el momento. Le repito, nos que acaban de confirmar que van a traer al bebé, a su bebé Fabian, aquí las cenizas del bebé.
So he's saying that they confirm that they're going to bring the baby's ashes, baby Fabian. So las cenizas, that means ashes. I looked it up to confirm it. That means... So I don't know how it's working out. They were saying they're bringing baby Fabian's ashes. So I don't know if like some of the ashes are going with Matthew and some of them are going with Savanah. But I just thought that was really interesting. And I saw some people, I mean, maybe you might not see it as interesting, but I saw people on Facebook kind of going back and forth about it and questioning it. And people were confused and people were asking for a translation.
Y para que les le puedan dar una última despedida con Matthew. Vamos a entrar ahora. Les repito, estoy totalmente en vivo en Mission Park.
So he's going in and he's live. There's the chapel.
12 del 2024. Les recuerdo a las 4 y a las 7 p.m. se va a hacer su rosario. El sábado 13 del 2024, la misa todavía está por definirse.
So he was walking inside. I honestly didn't think they were going to have cameras. I was a little surprised, but so it gives a little insight. Got a, I forgot what this is called, but you know, nice little card.
Aquí podemos ver cómo están dando una...
Born October 26, I think it says 2001. It has a scripture.
Para tenerlo en su memoria, Matthew Gabriel Guerra, nacido el 26 de octubre del 2001, tristemente.
Infamous says you're not supposed to use ad blockers for YouTube. This is not YouTube. This is Facebook. I'll show you the. If you look right here, this is. Let me show you. You see the icon here on the side? And people try to. If you can see up top, all my tabs are Facebook. There's one that's a YouTube one, so I won't use it for that. All right. Let's make them back here.
Fallecido el 26 de diciembre del 2023. Para los que se acaban de conectar, estamos dentro de la capilla donde están conmemorando a Matthew Guerra, le están haciendo su velorio.
Oh, thank you. Mass card, okay. Tara says no, he's not cremated. So that reporter could have the information wrong, but that's what he put out. That, you know, I don't know, the baby is cremated.
Y familiares nos acaban de informar que también se traerán las cenizas de su bebé, al cual le iban a llamar Fabian, el que estaba a punto de nacer. No me puedo metérselo. Para los que se acaban de conectar, estamos dentro de la capilla donde están conmemorando a Matthew Guerra, le están haciendo su velorio, donde hay amigos y familiares. Nos acaban de informar que también se traerán las cenizas de su bebé, al cual
So he's saying it again that they're bringing baby Fabian's ashes.
Iban a llamar Fabian, el que estaba a punto de nacer.
And that the baby was about to be born.
No me puedo meternos para adentro, ya que tenemos que guardar respeto por los familiares, los amigos de Matthew. Fueron muy amables al darnos oportunidad de poder
Infamous, I appreciate you looking out though, no worries.
Meternos aquí adentro de la casa fúnebre y poder grabar, poder tenerle en vivo este momento que es muy triste para sus familiares y amigos.
And with YouTube, I don't get ads anyway. I have YouTube Premium on my main account, so I never get ads because I have YouTube Premium.
Aquí puede observar cómo les trajeron varias flores. Hay imágenes de ellos dos, de Savanah y de Matthew. Hay unas flores que incluso dicen
So he's saying there's flowers there. I mean, you get the overall gist.
Papá le repito que él estaba a punto de ser padre de su bebé, al que le tenían pensado llamarle Fabian, ya que tristemente murió con Savanah. Nos acaban de confirmar, le repito, van en unos momentos traerán las cenizas del bebé.
So he's saying in a moment they're going to bring the ashes
de Fabian para ya darle un último adiós con su padre,
to give a final goodbye with his dad.
el cual era Matthew Guerra, y ya para el 12 de enero lo llevarán con Savanah, ya que la familia de Savanah quiere enterrar juntos a su bebé Fabian y a ella misma. También se pueden ver en las pantallas cómo hay fotos de él.
Yeah, so you can see pictures and stuff.
Decía que el padre no iba a tener el cofre abierto de Matthew, ya que se encontraba en un estado de descomposición. Le repito, ya son 11 días desde que se encontraban los cuerpos, pero al parecer sí pudieron tener el cofre abierto para que...
So what he's talking about here, thank God he didn't zoom in on the body or something, but he said that like that's the father, Matthew's father said it was going to be a closed casket. The reporter that posted the video said that, he was like badly decomposed. That Matthew was not cremated. But he's saying here, I guess at some point they opened the casket.
Que familiares y amigos le puedan dar su último adiós.
And I've read some people share their stories about their families. People have mixed feelings depending on how the person died, whether it should be open casket or not. And of course, that's up to the family. But I've heard in some situations that people were like murdered in such a way or died in such a way that when it comes to, is it a mortician? I don't know, that kind of fixes up the body and tries to like whatever. I've heard some people in certain cases be like, I wish I would have never seen my family member like that. I wish I would have just kept it closed. But I guess for some people, they just want to see their loved one for one last time. But in certain cases, like I've heard people say, like they kind of just wish they didn't even,
Les repito, no me puedo acercar un poco más, ya que es por respeto a los familiares y amigos de Matthew Guerra. Yo cuento alrededor de unas 100 personas. También han habido personas, les repito, esto es abierto al público, quien quiera llegar y mostrar su compasión a la familia y darle un último adiós a Matthew Guerra. Se puede ver cómo muchos están abrazando. También había otras personas llorando, que no lo pueden creer todavía.
So he's just telling how people are very emotional and some people were crying.
Es una historia simplemente atroz para ellas. De aquí le puedo dar una mejor vista de cómo el ataúd está abierto.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why that's happening. How do you guys feel about that? Mom wasn't. Let me unmute it.
Un último adiós a Matthew Guerra. Aquí le repito, hay varias flores y unas de ellas dicen hasta papá. Ya
He's just describing roses.
que iban a ser
Okay, so I'll fast forward a little bit.
más por respeto a los familiares y a los amigos que fueron muy amables en incluso dejarnos a nosotros que estuviéramos aquí grabando en vivo para mostrar.
So he's saying that he was allowed to go in there and record. The family was like gracious enough to let him go. He's from television, So like he got permission to do this. He didn't like sneak in or something. We can do calls at the end of the stream. I have a couple things to go through still, but at the end, if you want to call.
Darle a usted cómo está, pues, cómo esta tristeza está con esta familia y darle un último adiós a Matthew Guerra, aunque sea desde su hogar. Déjenme les apunto aquí el cofre. Les repito, en una entrevista dijo su padre que iba a tener que hacerlo a cofre cerrado, ya que los cuerpos lamentablemente fueron encontrados días después y estaban en un estado de descomposición.
He's saying that the father said that it was going to be a closed casket because of the amount of time that the bodies were found, like days after. So because of decomposition.
Que no iba a ser apto para ver a las personas.
Infamous says, I hear a lot of people say that they would rather have been able to remember them the way they were alive. I've heard people say that too. Paralegalese, this is Matthew's. I'm saying funeral, but I guess it's not. It's something else. I'm kind of bad with the terms because I remember a close friend of mine passed away. We did something the day before and then the day after he was put in the ground.
Lo que teníamos entendido era que iban a tener el cofre cerrado, pero ahora, como usted puede ver, está abierto para que familiares y amigos le den.
So yeah, they opened up the casket and they went and looked.
El último adiós.
Some people are
Hace
looking.
un momento pude hablar con el tío de Matthew Guerra, el esposo el hermano del papá.
He said he was able to talk to Matthew's uncle, which is Matthew's father's brother.
Y me pudo decir que Matthew estaba listo para un cambio. Estaba listo para darle lo mejor a su bebé.
And he's saying that when he spoke to his uncle said that Matthew was getting ready to like change his life and wanted to offer the best for his son.
Que pensaban llamar Fabian, que apenas iban a hacer, ya tenía 9 meses, pero tristemente esto nunca llegó.
And that Fabian was 9 months and sadly it never happened.
Repito, fueron reportados como desaparecidos el mismo viernes, donde Savanah se suponía que tenía que asistir al hospital para dar parto, para dar a luz.
He's just recapping the timeline, what happened. So, just wanted to give a little bit of a visual, but more also of what this guy was saying on the inside. He's spoken with family.
Sus familiares y amigos le están dando un último adiós. Les recuerdo, usted es abierto para todo público, ya que los familiares dieron permiso, fueron muy amables para darnos permiso a nosotros.
This guy just repeating, they're really nice to give him permission.
Estamos totalmente en vivo desde Mission Park, desde la casa funeraria donde le están dando
Mission Park live. So that was that. As far as I know, I don't know if that's the only news media station I saw in there. Was this guy television? Let me see what you guys are saying. Aristocat says they worked on my BFF's face for 2 weeks. His face still traumatized everyone there. I didn't understand who/what I was looking at. Awful way to remember. We were inseparable. Yeah, I remember when my friend passed away. He died from sickle cell, so there wasn't like trauma and stuff. But I just remember he didn't look like himself, obviously, and like he was just face was like really swollen and kind of just I don't know. It's kind of weird. Rongo says, viewing says Rosary family and friends are invited to pray the Rosary and speak about the deceased. Okay. Also called visitation. I'll check out the Discord. Sherry's saying Discord invite. The current is expired. I'll create a new one. Univision. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Univision. I might have not uttered the words, but yeah. Okay. So this is what Raquel had to say. This is the stepmother of Matthew. And it says, on behalf of Matthew's father, Gabriel Guerra, we wanted to let the public know that friends of Matthew, people that knew Matthew, our friends, our extended friends, extended family, our co-workers are more than welcome to pay their last respects, to be there for us, show them respect through this very difficult time. Please be courteous and respectful. It's greatly appreciated. And this was hours ago. And on Facebook, some people were kind of confused about like, so can we go? Can we not go? But through this message, I think it's just people that knew Matthew, not just for the public to show up. That's what I took from it. And a day ago, she posted, I always thought and envisioned our 3 boys, or should I say men, going suit shopping together with us for their baby sister's sweet 16. Now it's under different circumstances. I can't thank our boys enough for everything they're helping us with through this rough time, family isn't always blood. And my boys and husband pay for it. Oh, because so people, and this is what I wanted to talk about this for a little bit. People were giving him a hard time, I guess. Not that their GoFundMe even got that much money. I think I should try and find it. I think they got like 5,000. They didn't get their goal, but I kind of almost couldn't believe it. I guess some people were upset at them when they went shopping, funeral shopping for suits for the funeral, which is like, I don't know, and saying that, oh, they used to GoFundMe money, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't know, isn't that part of what it's for or not? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. And I don't know what store they're in, but it doesn't look like a crazy expensive store, you know, but those suits, they cost money. I like to go to Men's Warehouse. You can still find good deals there, but I guess you have to come in and edit because I guess people were uptight about these people buying suits for a funeral. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? The other thing too, I had heard, I haven't seen the actual post. I haven't seen actual proof of this, but I heard some murmurings that like the family had gotten tattoos or something like that with the GoFundMe money. I don't know if that's true or not. And even if it is, I don't know that it's so wrong, really. I think, didn't Gabby Petito's family like get a tattoo of their daughter's tattoo after she passed away? I don't know. The Guerrero family, their GoFundMe wasn't that big. And it could be for a multitude of reasons. The whole situation with drugs, which, by the way, we're going to get into. Police said they were both involved in drug dealings. You know, not to like put anybody down, not to victim blame, but, you know, they were both involved. And I also think what happened was when Stepmom mentioned the GoFundMe, that kind of made people be like, well, why do we have to give money? But not the GoFundMe, the life insurance. Sorry, the life insurance. But from what I've heard, that can be a process in itself too. You know, that could be, and a lot of people don't have money saved up for occasions like this, thousands of dollars. You know, people barely have to their next rent to pay. You know, so the 5,000 that I think I last saw. Let's see if I can find it. I'm gonna pull it up too, so we can take a look at it together. Let me stop for a second. I also think that when there was the confusion with the 3 GoFundMes, there's a couple things that hurt that or whatever, you know. But at the end of the day, 5,000. I don't think they're running some mass scheme with $5,000. I don't know. Let me see. I think that I do think they should have just had one, but I think that's where there's a lot of different reasons, I guess. So they got 5,700. We show it here on the screen. I don't know why I can't. And there's also an assistance program. I've heard a couple of people talking about this on Facebook, that if you have, if you're going through some type of situation where it involves murder, there's like assistance. I hope people have reached out to them and told them, because maybe I could help them out as well. There might be certain qualifiers. I don't know what it is. Infamous Truth Teller says Gabby Petito, they tattooed her artwork of her sayings. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they should be given hell for getting suits. It's kind of ridiculous a little bit. All right. So yeah, she did post this picture of the family and stuff like that. Now, you know, we've been keeping an eye on Uncle Carlito's way. And he's the neighbor. He's live right now. Speaking of the devil. I don't mean he's the devil. It's just the phrase and saying. We'll check him out in a bit. He's I don't know, doing a word puzzle. See? I don't know if he's gonna go outside today.
I'm gonna say something ahorita. Something happened today. something weird happened today at that house.
Is he talking about the neighbor?
Ahorita les digo.
Oh, he said it later. I'll tell you.
Okay, two car cops came. Not to my house, to that
Which house?
To that house.
The neighbor or the killer's house? Alleged killer's house.
Va a estar bueno el chisme.
Okay.
And I have video of that.
Oh,
But
okay, Mona.
I don't know if I can put it on.
Why not, man?
I'm afraid to put it on. Because that lady called the cops.
Oh.
To somebody.
I think Carlos needs one of those audit channels to like help him out with his rights. He record outside his place. So we'll come back to Carlos.
And that video is really good. Really, really good. Everybody's gonna go crazy with that video if I put it.
But he can't put it.
But I'm just gonna wait.
Okay. So yeah, we'll come back to Carlos in a bit. I want to see if he steps outside. For those that don't know, I had heard that Carlos had some issues. I think it was yesterday. One of the neighbors like walked up to him supposedly and started complaining and saying, "I don't want to be on video," and blah blah blah. And it was like this drama. And so he stopped. And so I don't know if that's the neighbor that he's talking about. But these are other videos of people driving around. Still the baby killer there. This was today, I guess. People pulling up to the house. Baby killer, the little memorial that they've done out there. And I'm going to show you something that I saw on YouTube where somebody actually went and took down the memorial. Reminds me of the Brian Laundrie stuff and Guy Petito and the laundries. Everybody's on the prowl. This is a couple days ago, somebody driving by. Everybody wants to check out the house. Linda Lee, thank you for the 5, says, why on Matthew's prayer card it shows he passed away on the 26th? He passed away on the 21st, question mark. I'll check it out. I don't know why I would say that. Let's go back and check it out. Everybody's creeping the house. That's got to be weird to live in that house now after. All right, so let's go back and look real quick. Oh, you're right. It does say the 26th. That's a good catch. I'm not sure why it says that. It's believed they were murdered, like you said, on the 21st. The 26th is when the bodies were discovered. Bernice, thank you for the 5, says, have you heard of Virgilio Aguilar Mendez case in Florida? No, I have not heard of that case. I can check it out after. I have not heard of that. Lady Trucker, thank you for the 20, says, the GoFundMe funds are supposed to be for exactly that. Funeral attire, tats, etc. Thank you, Mel, for the amazing coverage for both families and little Fabian. Yeah. And if I want to have a drink with that money, no, I'm just kidding. I guess because they were found on the 26th, maybe that's why it says that, yeah. guess that's why. I was going to show a little snippet of that if we have time. Hold on. This is another thing that happened. Mia, thank you for the 5. Says Matthew's brother made a post about baby Fabian was in his arms inside the casket. So heartbreaking. Really? Let me check it out. Yep, he did. Thank you for that. So I don't know what this the reporter saying baby Fabian was cremated, unless it was in a container with baby Fabian. I don't know. That's why my computer's acting up. Oh no. I have this copy. Yeah, it says, I saw my baby nephew laying in his daddy's arms, so handsome, just like him. I wish this wasn't the way, but I'm grateful. Tomorrow, Matthew will be laid to rest. This was an hour ago. So yeah, right now, I guess it's like what you guys are saying, the wake or whatever they call it, and then the next day they're actually going to put him in the ground, bury him. Thank you, Mia. Oh shit! Polly said, "Glad I know that GoFundMe is for tattoos, along with funeral costs. She'll not donate another dime." The reporter said the baby was cremated. That's the first time anybody's ever heard of that. I don't know. And the reporter spoke directly with family, but I don't know if maybe the baby's in a container, like baby could be cremated in a container, and like they put the baby in dad's arms. I don't really know. And I guess this was some other, which you probably see it here. Yeah, something happened a couple of days ago. It's that the brother said, "How are you going to be selling some ish and attach my family name to it? Goofy SF. Do not buy off this chick. She's doing nothing to help." And this post, I guess, was somebody selling bracelets. A girl in this group wants to share her bracelets, be their voice. We have to stand up for Savanah, Fabian, and Matthew. Continue showing the love towards them each and every way. She wants to get the full USA on her sales map. Her bracelets are $10 plus 5 shipping. Message me for her Facebook. I guess they're selling merch without the family knowing. Oh, this one too. This is supposedly somebody here was throwing away some of the memorial stuff. Somebody in the neighborhood upset and not happy. Taking away the balloons, the candles. Not having it. There's always somebody like that. Somebody in the neighborhood. Carlos already had some issues with a neighbor, so I'm not surprised. Sucker Free 2626 says, "Thank you for the 5." Says, "What matters is that you sent the funds genuinely from the heart, to be honest. Really, after that, nothing else matters how they spend it, to be honest." I agree. As long as it's going to something good, I don't know. And injecting themselves with something, Tia, thank you for the 3 months membership. Says they put the date of the death as the day they were found. They did the same thing when they found my grandmother after she passed away. Okay. Sorry for your loss. So yeah, this guy over here picked up all the mess. So let me read you this person's theory. Based on the facts of the probable cause affidavit, Savanah searched Charlie Chan Drive. She did not search for the house number or exact directions. That's something I would do if I were looking for a general area. I think it's likely Savanah searched the street name, saw maybe a parking lot, alley, etc., and told Christopher to walk out there to meet them. He meets them nearby his house, gets in the back seat, things go wrong, he kills them, and Christopher panics. He drags Matthew's body out of the front seat, onto the ground, into the back seat, gets in the driver's seat, and drives his Kia around the corner and down the street to whatever his house. He gets to his house at 11:50 p.m., the ping, and his dad comes out to see what happened. Chris gets in the Kia and Ramon gets the truck. At 11:54, they drive to the apartment complex to dump the car. This would account for the fact that it was only 4 minutes that were spent at the home. That was kind of an interesting one. Somebody here said he wouldn't drag him out the front and put him in the back. He'd pull him through the middle. I mean, who's to say what he would do? And there was blood transfer outside of the vehicle. Yeah, there is blood transfer outside the back door. Oh, I definitely need to mention this. So, okay, there is 2 different pretrial hearings. So one is on February 7th, 2024, and the other one's February 5th. For Ramon, it's February 7th, and for Christopher, February 5th. So we're going to have to definitely keep an eye out for that. And they have different stipulations if they get out, somehow manage to bail out, bond out. And I did see something too, but it was just a rumor, I guess. Somebody was saying that supposedly they think Ramon's going to get out because the girlfriend or whatever was going to put up the bond using the house, which I've seen people do that. Use the house as a bond to get somebody out, or like using it as a property. I forgot how that works, but I've seen people do that. The other thing, we're here 47 minutes. Let me see. So everybody knows, okay, we got the $2 million for Christopher, $600,000 for the father, Ramon. Both are still in Wexford County Jail. I keep getting like messages every day that they're out. They bonded out. Investigators are still investigating. Let's see. So, the affidavits, the first SAPD detective on the scene looked into the car and saw Soto in the front passenger seat with trauma to her head. In the back seat, what appeared to be Guerrero's body, it bore drag marks and blood was smeared on the exterior of the Kia. So we know all that. Both were signs the victims had been killed elsewhere and brought to the apartment complex, which that's obvious. From talking to Guerrero's family and Soto's family, investigators learned that Guerrero sold drugs and would post photographs of money and narcotics on Instagram. The victim's relative told police that people wanted to rob Guerrero and that he had been shot at before. And this was like the big kicker for us. And I wasn't even sure if I heard it right. But police William McManus said that Soto was part of her boyfriend's drug business, not a passive bystander, which was kind of interesting. Okay. And he claimed he sold the marijuana. We know the whole story now. Okay. Now, this is an old story, but I feel like I've heard multiple people reference it to me. This is another Texas story, too, and another unborn child. I'll just play this news clip.
Drive-by shooting last night. As San Antonio police search for those responsible, Eyewitness News reporter Vanessa Croy has the latest on the investigation and the frightening moments for neighbors.
San Antonio police said it happened at the corner of South Olive and Aranza Street when a vehicle resembling a white GMC SUV pulled up to a car with 4 teens inside and fired at least 20 rounds.
It was freaked out because I was scared.
A loud sound startled this neighbor last night around 9:30.
Last night, I thought somebody was banging on my window, that it made me came out.
Ernest, who asked that we only use his first name, said his neighbors also heard the sounds.
Then I checked the front, then I came back to the back, and police and fire engine, ambulances, and everybody was there.
That pounding turned out to be gunshots.
It wasn't that, it was shooting.
Police Chief William McManus said the first call from 911 was from one of the victims inside the car. When officers arrived, they found the 17-year-old male driver shot and killed. A 19-year-old girl died overnight. Chief McManus saying this was not a random crime. These teens were a target.
Nothing that I could say that would put any sense to it at all.
And while police try to find the shooter, Ernest says he's still shaken by the violence that happened right outside his front door.
Well, before, I've been here 8 years. It didn't bother me. But now this is a little too close.
The two other victims were taken to the hospital and no word on their condition tonight. If you have any information about this crime, you're asked to call San Antonio.
So the name that says authorities ID a 19-year-old pregnant woman who died in a targeted shooting. Vianeth Ramos Rivera. Vianeth Ramos Rivera. In this case, I believe it's unsolved. 19-year-old pregnant woman who died in a targeted shooting. Targeted. And you would think if it's targeted, they'd know who, but her boyfriend Xavier also died in the shooting. Let's see. I just wonder what the motive was. Was it another drug thing? I want to show you guys something else. And it was almost hard for me to believe this. I just got to sidestep for a second. You're not going to believe this shit. Maracal, thank you for the memberships. Thank you for gifting 10 memberships. This story, I had to go look up the cop page because I didn't believe it. I had to go look at the police's page. I saw a post. I was scrolling somewhere. So they're saying that this woman, let me get it on the screen. Woman, and I don't know, is this really the cop page? Oh no, look at this. This is why it's so important to click this shit. Satire and parody. So I looked at this early and I was just skimming. And it says, woman allegedly tries to trade her kid for a new Starbucks pink Stanley Cup. These people, I didn't know too much about the Stanley Cup until recently, that these people are really crazy about it. So I almost kind of believed it. With all those stories that's going on today, so it says Sasha Douglas, 32, of St. Joseph, Missouri, was arrested Thursday afternoon without incident. Detectives said they found a Facebook marketplace messages between Sasha and another woman. In the messages, Sasha told the woman that she would give up her 4-year-old daughter for a new Starbucks pink Stanley Cup. In the messages, she says, hey, you trying to trade for my little baby? She's potty trained and knows her alphabet and numbers. She sleep in too. LOL. The person that was selling the cup didn't respond to the message and sent it to detectives. Bruh. And there was even a fake website. I knew something was up when I saw Prakash Imran, whatever his name is. Another thing, I wanted to share this story with you guys too. I was scrolling. This is more serious. I think this is another pregnant person that was shot and killed. And I think this is out of Florida. I believe this happened today.
For joining us today. Before I proceed, though, let me introduce who is
I think this is Florida.
Sergeant George Haristokopoulos. He's the sergeant over our
fixed the volume
unit. And an amazing detective, Catherine Gordon, who's just done a phenomenal job on every case she is assigned, no matter how difficult they may be, like this one. So before I provide the update, I'm going to start with a recap of the initial incident. You may recall on September 3rd last year, deputies were called to 2 Randwood Lane in Palm Coast in reference to a shooting. When deputies arrived, they found that an 18-month-old child had been shot, but despite
an 18-month child,
life-saving measures by deputies, paramedics, and doctors at Advent Health Palm Coast, the child sadly died. When deputies arrived on the scene, C.J. Nelson Jr. and his father, C.J. Nelson Sr., were alone together in the house, and that's an important part. During the investigation, it became apparent the crime scene had been tampered with and evidence was likely disposed of and cleaned up. It was also obvious that based on the evidence and scene that persons that were in the house when the shooting occurred were not being truthful to investigators. At that time, C.J. Nelson Jr. was arrested for violation of probation as he was on probation for a gun violation. Then on November 15th last year, a grand jury indicted C.J. Nelson Jr. for manslaughter with a firearm following an indictment by the grand jury. He was arrested at the Flagler County Jail where he had been held without bond on the probation violation. But that did not stop this investigation.
Experience what's...
Again, commend Detective Gordon and our major case unit for continuing to dig to find out who tampered with the scene and what was done. And you may recall last year when we held a press conference on the arrest, I mentioned that people were not being truthful, that the crime scene had been tampered with, and that we were going to continue this investigation. So based on the investigation and forensics evidence, we now know that C.J. Nelson Sr. was called and arrived on site almost immediately after the shooting occurred. And here's what he did. He provided instructions on how to stage the scene.
What?
C.J. Nelson was observed taking the firearm used in the shooting from C.J. Nelson Jr., using a t-shirt to prevent and wipe off fingerprints from being found on the weapon, and placing it in the bedroom where deputies found it. C.J. Nelson Sr. instructed witnesses to provide an alibi for himself and his son, C.J. Nelson Jr., but to tell deputies they were both outside smoking at the time of the incident. C.J. Nelson Sr. told C.J. Nelson Jr. to take a shower.
So this is a situation, I'm trying to grasp it. It seems like a father helping his son get away with murder.
At 32 Princeton Lane in Palm Coast, where the home where they had relocated to after the shooting, while other family members were at the hospital with the child. Investigators also listened to and obtained jail phone recordings where C.J. Nelson Sr. made veiled threats against members of the media, deputies, Detective Gordon, and myself. On Friday, January 5th, detectives obtained an arrest warrant for C.J. Nelson Sr. tampering with during an investigation. C.J. Nelson.
So remember, there was a lot of parents out there that would help their kid get away with murder, even when it comes to a baby.
Nelson Sr. was taken into custody while he was putting
Carlos?
money in his son's account at the Sheriff Perry Hall Inmate Detention Facility, which is our county jail. Judge Perkins granted a special condition of no contact with C.J. Nelson on C.J. Nelson Sr.'s arrest warrant. Unfortunately, C.J. Nelson Sr.'s bond was set at only $15,000, and he posted the bond and was released. Our team is working with the state attorney's office to have a higher bond or a bond revocation because we believe, and I personally believe, C.J. Nelson Sr. is a threat to witnesses and to members of the sheriff's office. You may be wondering how C.J. Nelson knew how to stage a crime scene and what to do. Well, frankly, he's a dirtbag, and he probably learned it in prison. He has multiple arrests, a total of 18 charges since 2003, 9 misdemeanors, 9 felonies. multiple traffic violations, Benel Police, Sheriff's Office arrest. He went to prison, fell of cocaine, where he was sentenced to 2 years in prison. He's been arrested for.
Amazing. So I guess there's a lot of people out there that would, if needed, they help out with, conceal the child's murder. So let me get to the votes. 3,000 people voted. Whose last name, baby Fabian? Who should have the last name? I'm sorry, I typed that wrong. 25% say Savanah. 22% say Matt. 53% say both hyphenated. It's after 9 p.m. in Texas. Let me see if this lady did an update yet. She's at 9 and at 10. San Antonio news. Check on Carlito in a bit here. Carlito's way.
But I don't know how to pin or whatever he says there to put it. I don't know how to do it.
I guess Carlos is not going back outside anymore. That lady, let me check out this news station, dude. San Antonio. Not going back outside.
So, I don't think I'm going to put that video.
No?
Tengo miedo. I'm afraid.
Empieza el año con alegría.
Carlos. Let's see what else.
The memorial still, yes, the memorial still up. Yeah. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you.
Well,
no te va a linear.
I don't know there's much going on. And I unfortunately, I guess he's not going to go outside anymore. I'm assuming because of that lady, that some lady that came screaming at him in this poll. If you guys want, I don't know. If you want to do some calls, we can. If not, because Carlos is not outside. I thought he was going to go back outside, but I guess he's not. Carlito. Let me check real quick to the Facebook groups. See if there's anything else. This lady said she's going to have some updates at 9 and 10, but I don't see anything yet. The main Facebook group has been down almost all day. From what I've seen, they're still on pause. I guess the way Facebook works is they have to filter and audit and read every single comment. But so today I've been kind of checking out all the other Facebook groups because this group, they've had to pause the entire day. And I guess only the admins are allowed to post and nobody else can post, which is interesting. But let me show you what there's some nice stuff here. One of the admins can post. They posted, we saw this stuff pretty much. Pictures of the casket. A nice picture of them together, Savanah and Matthew. Dad. Beloved son. Nice flower arrangements and stuff. Brother, it broke our hearts to lose you. You did not go alone, for part of us went with you the day God called you home. So, we're pretty much caught up on everything.
Was the lady getting groceries gorda or smaller?
Y'all want calls? All right, let's do a few calls. We'll do a few calls tonight. We gonna do a few calls. I really wanted to see Carlos outside a little bit to get some action, but I understand. He has to look out for his family and stuff. Let me open up the lines here. Talk for a little bit. Un poquitito. Call in studio. Just give me a second to set up the lines. I'm wondering if the house that he's talking about that had the cops is the neighbor that got upset with him. Because I can tell he doesn't want any problems, you know. He lives there and stuff. Okay. I'm dialing in right now. Don't want no problems.
Thank you for
We already got a caller. Amazing.
and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
So the
Do you
phone
have
number,
to pay money to send?
the phone number to call in is 954-787-3009. I'm gonna get myself a little cough drop. I'll be right back. But I'm gonna let you guys listen to Carlos. We got one caller already. You guys got a lot of wind, tornadoes, hurricanes. Aline says we should send Carlos some puzzles. Let me get a
Can we honk on your life? Yes, but not here in the front porque ahí they're gonna get me in trouble with the neighbors. Tell us your story. I'll make a video of my story. Don't honk, se enoja la vecina y mi tía, o la tía, well, si we're talking about, la tía no está aquí, so. ¿Qué dice la tía por los videos? No sé, la tía.
Oh, wow. Okay, we got people here. Let's get some of the people's thoughts. 408. 408. How you doing?
Hi, Mel.
Hi.
Hi, it's Mia. How are you?
Mia, hey, good. I saw you in the chat.
Yeah, I've been watching you for a little while now.
Amazing.
Just started to engage. But you just jogged my memory of funerals, and it's kind of traumatizing, my story.
Tell me.
So in the mid-90s, he was my first boyfriend. We weren't together at the time. Sorry, my son's nonverbal. He's kind of loud.
Oh, it's okay.
But so he killed himself and he killed his baby mama.
Wow.
And yeah, it was. I saw him 2 days before he did it too. It was weird. He took studio pictures, gave all of his friends the pictures. I mean, in retrospect, people realized that was his way of saying goodbye. He was best friends with my cousin at the time, and my cousin saw the gun. He told my cousin what he was going to do, but my cousin didn't believe him because it would always be reversed. My cousin would talk about wanting to do things to his baby mom, and Eddie was always the rational one. So this came just totally unexpected. So at the funeral, my cousin's girlfriend has a twin sister. She was dating Eddie at the time, and he was wearing a beanie. They had his head covered. So she was opening the beanie. You could see the cotton where they stuffed his hole. And then they started pushing on his chest and his body. It was really, it was traumatic. Why are you guys doing this?
Wow.
I've never seen anything like that at a funeral. It was gross, But I was standing right there, and I was watching them. Nobody was intervening. Nobody was "Hey, you shouldn't do that." It was just weird.
And the kid was okay?
Pardon?
You said
yeah. The baby was in the back seat when he did it.
Wow.
And I guess there was a guy that tried to intervene and stop him, and Eddie pointed the gun at him and told him, "Mind your own business."
Wow.
The girl, I think she passed away a day later.
Wow, I'm sorry.
But yeah, it was bad. But none of that's ever okay. It's a type of mentality. If I can't have you, nobody can.
Yeah, there's people like that. Scary.
and her family didn't like him either. So I kind of understand where Savannah's family comes from, because I don't like my daughter's baby daddy.
Oh,
He's an
boy.
abuser too.
Oh, really? Yeah, especially when that comes to that type of
So-
situation with abuse.
But it's easy for people to say, oh, well, how come the parents don't intervene? We've called the cops several times. The cops didn't do anything.
Wow.
So I don't know. It's easy to judge, but this case is just really, it's just hit home for me. It's just sad. You know?
Do you think there's another
Judgment,
third
the
person
scrutiny.
involved?
Absolutely. I think he was set up. There's no way that you can kill somebody in 9 minutes like that with no,
Right.
especially at that house. I don't think it happened at that house. They were probably, I don't believe in psychics, okay? But I'm finding myself believing the certain lady, just the stuff that she said. Well, I don't even know if we should be speaking on it, because what if we were kind of like onto something and the people hear it? You know what I mean? I don't want to get killed over nothing. So.
Right.
But basically, there's an imposter, somebody that looks like him. She keeps mentioning gold grills. Like I said, I'm a Christian, so I know you're not supposed to believe in that kind of stuff. But I definitely think that there's more than what's being revealed. And of course, law enforcement, they're not gonna show us their cards.
No, yeah. I feel like they might try to get that person to cooperate. If they found another third person that didn't have anything to do with the murder and didn't, move the corpse or anything like that, maybe they'll get them to cooperate for no time or something.
But what about if they actually helped kill him, though?
Oh, then, I don't know. Might be somebody else getting locked up.
Because look at the dad. He looks too experienced. He has the towel, jumping out of that truck. That's not his first rodeo.
Oh,
There's
allegedly.
no way.
Right.
Well, yeah, allegedly. It's like my daughter coming and telling me, oh, by the way, I unalived my baby daddy. I'm going to be on the phone for 911. Hey, I'm a dry snitch. Shoot, I'm not going to go to prison for you. Nothing is worth my freedom.
Right.
But,
So you wouldn't be...
Sometimes things are...
Some of these people, too, they protect their families, so they help their son or their daughter conceal a body. There's the other case we saw just now where the father had helped the son and coached him. Like, all right, this is how you clean this up, wipe the fingerprints. I guess there's some people some families out there that will help their kids or guide them.
That's horrible. Guide them to not have aspirations to become a killer. I even have another story. My cousin, you can Google it.
Short, because there's a bunch of people. Go ahead, tell me.
Oh no! She let her boyfriend kill her baby, 2 years old.
Oh, really?
In Arizona. It happened like 7 months ago. Yeah, it's bad, but. But yeah, so it was good talking to you.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate your support. Yeah.
Oh, no problem. Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Nice call. Yeah, people called in. 5 callers waiting, so I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna get to the next one, and I think they're gonna this guy Christopher in prison or jail when they find out what he did. He killed a pregnant woman like that. 202. How you doing? Where you calling from?
The DMV.
DMV. What is that?
Yeah, DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Oh. Well, thank you for calling. How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm thinking the DMV
I've been
office.
watching you on the story.
That's
Yeah.
like the DMV office. What the hell?
Yeah, we're known as the DMV.
That's cool.
But I want to comment on that funeral thing. Like, as far as like the GoFundMe, like that family, you're donating kindness of your heart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can, if you want to sit there and pop bottles at that funeral, as long as it's going towards like anything that has to do with him, it's fine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Are they signing a document saying that this money has to go to that? No. And also, is it just me, or is there police chase like every night?
I feel like so far the chases have been slacking. I don't even remember.
I've seen one like three in the past 3 nights with you.
Yeah, but one of them, like, as soon as we started, it was, like, over. I think last night was decent. It was short, but decent. I'm hoping we're getting really good one.
That was they were dumb, though, going slow.
Yeah. Well, the chopper got there late, too, so it probably...
Yeah. That one where they were hiding, though, that was a good one. I could have sworn they got into an SUV.
Right.
Yeah. But
somebody,
I'm happy that
what you're saying. Somebody, Nancy on Twitter says, "Hey Mel, I'm watching on YouTube, but not in chat. So wanted to say, I used to be an Oprah fan, and heard her say one time, when you give money to a person, whatever they do with it, right or wrong, you've given it and have no more to say."
Yep, you're giving it from your heart. And I heard that the tattoos were, they were free anyways. But why are people all up in their business on what they're spending the money with?
I think it was kind of crazy that they even had to clear up. Like, clearly they're buying the suits for the funeral.
They shouldn't have to clear up anything. Everybody's all up in their business.
Yeah.
Let them grieve. But I want to know, like, the real thing with baby Fabian. Like, if they cremated him, or because I heard he was going to be in Savannah's arms.
That's what I saw people on Facebook saying. I've never seen it anywhere, but people were saying they saw. Supposedly, the family said that. So I was a little confused and surprised that the reporter was saying that. It would be nice if at some point we get a little bit of clarification on what happened.
Yeah, it's going to bug me. It's probably going to keep me up tonight. Yeah, definitely. So. But yeah, I hope that mother, because I know it was her that threw that towel.
What'd you say?
She'll get it. She'll get what's coming to her. But yeah, justice is coming. So
you think it was the mother? It was Mama?
I'm very happy.
Or the
girlfriend, come on now. Come on now. It's the mom. We all know that.
Lord.
Yeah, I think it's the mom, but justice is coming. So we'll see if they make it to court,
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
All right. You too.
Thank you for the call. Nice call. More people calling in, so I'm going to keep it moving. 575. And somebody's asking for the funeral information. I'll put it up on the screen. 575. How you doing? Where are you calling from? It's on the screen right now, guys, the information. 575. Matthew's getting buried tomorrow, I think at 10 a.m. And if you're wondering about Savanah, Savannah's up on the screen. I just put it up on there. The rosary and then the funeral in a couple days is coming for those that. And this one actually seems like it's open to the public. So for those that want that information. 575, can you hear me?
Am I online?
You're on. You're live.
Am I on the phone call?
See.
Okay. How do you pronounce your name?
Ikid Mel, but you can call me Mel. A lot of my friends call me Mel.
Okay, Mel. This is Convict Ballerina. I've actually been bombarding you with comments in your comment section. About another case.
Okay, I think I did see I saw your comments yesterday or something.
I've left it a million times. I was not trying to be annoying, but I was just hoping to talk about it for just maybe 2 minutes if you give me that.
Go ahead.
Okay, the case is out of Alabama, Sims, Alabama, about a woman named Nancy Johnson. Her and her 2 children were unalived in the home. The interesting part of the story that I know that was put out in the media was that she packed a suitcase filled with clothes, a cell phone, and cash because she had just came back to Alabama from Utah, where she obtained a protective order against her husband, Derek Johnson, and it got approved, but a judge in Alabama ordered her back to Alabama, and she was assaulted that same day by her husband, where he climbed into the window. Well, 10 days after she arrives, after this incident, because he's released from jail the same night, she's found dead by the husband. I've been in contact with the family, and I've been doing a lot of footwork on the case, trying to help them out, because when I first saw the case break, I just wanted to know answers. I'm a true crimer myself, but this is totally different than anything I've ever, I'm just a viewer usually, but I've actually had to drive all the way to Alabama. I'm in Louisiana. I've seen the body cam footage. I've been in contact with the chief of Sims, and there's just a lot of shocking things that we found out. Like, for instance, I just want to put it out there because I know I only have a little bit of time, but this case has a lot of undertones of the Mormon community, for one. Sorry, not trying to, I don't have anything against Mormons, but I'm just saying it has a lot of undertones of Mormon community. Yeah. It's very Chris Watts-ish, Lori Daybell-ish, because from what we found, the husband has been involved in several deaths throughout his family.
We are finding
and I've
out
had
a
to
lot
report
more
one
tonight about
person
a
missing
turbulent that may
from
have
his
cost
past, which was his stepfather. Because I'm talking about deaths in his family, including his mom and his dad. Those deaths were just 5 months apart. His stepmother, who was in 2022, he stole a mobile home deed from her, and that's why he was in Alabama. The missing person was the stepfather who he was going up against in court against the mom's estate. So it's a lot of information out there.
Okay.
And the family, what wasn't being said, and I don't know if you're familiar with the case, but
not at all. But somebody literally just tweeted me and sent me a link to an article to read and stuff.
Yeah, if you watch the interview that he first requested Law and Crime do, he requested it. It's very freaky. It's very weird. He's smiling throughout the interview.
Ooh.
He says a lot of inconsistent statements. He says that she was into QAnon, and what the media did not say was that Nancy was Guatemalan. She was an immigrant. Her English was not very good because it was her second language. And the press conference that came out days later after the incident, they said a lot of stuff about her having psychiatric problems and stuff. However, I talked to her attorney because like I said, I've been driving back and forth from Alabama to Louisiana trying to obtain information for the family who lives in Utah, Guatemala, and Chicago. So I talked to her attorney, and he says that he wished they would have never did that press conference because it was all false. She had no psychiatric issues. He immediately thought that it was Derek who did it and told the cops that they needed to look at him. He's a former prosecutor himself. He said he's dealt with murderers, cartel, and all kinds of criminals, and he said he's never came across somebody like Derek. He said he was sure that he had a personality disorder and he intended to get him evaluated. He just never got that chance.
Okay.
But I can go on and on about the stuff that I found.
Do you have my email? Have you emailed me yet?
Yes, and I've been I've messaged you on Facebook, so you have it's Beverly Namaste Mejia.
Okay.
But, a lot more information.
Send me a message on Gmail, ikidmail@gmail.com. It's a lot to intake right now, but I do have the link to the article. Maybe we can link up and talk sometime. And we can kind of do a live stream for this.
So sorry to interrupt. I'm just trying to get the information out. I'm so excited I actually got to talk to somebody because I've been reaching out to news stations and they'll say, we'll have our affiliate ABC contact you and nothing happens. A consulate got involved from Guatemala and nothing's really happening with that because Alabama has some of the restrictive laws you can imagine, like out of the southern state, deep, hard southern state. And I don't even like going there through there myself because I'm Hispanic and it's scary.
So, and if you could send me the link, so like you said, you saw the link of the interview on, was it Law and Crime and then the press conference, send me an email of that stuff. And then let's talk sometime too. And maybe we can do like a dedicated live stream on it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You
don't
know how happy her family's going to be to see this.
Okay,
Thank you, I appreciate
awesome.
it.
Yeah, no problem. I thank you for calling. Bye. Okay. It sounds interesting, and somebody had literally just sent me the link to this, but it's a lot it's like a, like a lot to take from the. I don't know what's going on. It looks interesting though, so I'll look into it sometime. Maybe we can do a whole separate live stream on that. Okay, 863. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Hola.
Hola. Primero quiero decir que estás guapísimo.
Oh, gracias. Lo agradezco. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Thank you.
Hace como, no voy a decir mi nombre, pero hace como 2 años que no salgo de mi casa, no veo nada, y hace como 2 semanas pasé la tele y te vi. I'm like, oh my God. And since then I've been like watching you, and thank you for being there for everyone, porque tú no ves color, no ves si es mujer o hombre, niño o niña. And I'm like, wow, superheroes existen.
But wait, do you understand English or no?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. I love that you're speaking Spanish. It's nice. I love it. But why haven't you been at the house? ¿Por qué no saliste? Why haven't you gone out in 2 años, 2 years? Why haven't you gone out in 2 years? Hello?
my kids taken away from my father after the judge said that he wasn't allowed to take them out of the state, and he was able to take them out. He told me that I had court, right, and the day before court, my lawyer quit on me after I had paid her 2 weeks before $7,800. I see that smile. I see your smile. But anyway, so and he said that if I would say anything, I would see 3 crosses next to my brother's grave. So
Three what? 3 what?
3 crosses.
Wow. So you got a real serious situation going on. I thought it was like a funny thing, like you're just inside your house, but it's actually a really serious thing you have going on.
No. Actually, the cops were calling me. I was arrested. DCF got involved in all of that, and whenever I told them where my kids at, they told me that they were taken out of the state. They told me that they were taken out of the state, and I told them why, and they're like, well, because the judge said it was allowed, and I showed them papers, and I'm like, look, it says the kids must return back to the mother, and they seen the date and the time, and they were speechless, right? I've been spending money. I have like so much paper, so much cameras, so much evidence that I can prove, and I can show that he was abusive and he was so controlling that he had cameras all over my house, even on the toilet. Actually the sheriff he witnessed that, and he was the one who told me that I should keep records. He was in the military, and he told me that nobody was going to believe someone like me. He said that I was mental, just like the other lady said, and he claimed, I guess, insurance, saying that I was 100% disabled. He didn't even met my daughter, and he wasn't even on the birth certificate. He was able to take them out of the state. My son is 18, and he wanted to join the Marines, and now he's saying that he has a 5.3 GPA, and I don't even know how to speak English, all right? And now he don't want to go because he's like, Mom, I don't even know how. I'm not smart enough to fight for my family. Like, why should I go? And the cops told me, like, if I would say anything or whatever, that things were gonna happen, basically. And yes, my son was arrested, and then they took me to the mental place, and a lot of things have been going on, and I'm like, wow, you have to be dead for somebody to do something, you know? And that's so sad, and he just gave me hope, literally just gave me hope. I've been eating like a pig, watching you, and thank you. I just want to say thank you, and I'm so sorry. But next year, hopefully we don't have to spend Thanksgiving or Christmas alone. Maybe I can take you off for a date. And I'm sorry. But I was watching you that you said, oh my God, well, I'm just going to be here by myself. And I'm like, God, I guess I'm not the only one. So that kind of, I'm not going to lie to you, last year I was crying on Thanksgiving and then on Christmas and New Year's Day. And this time, no, I wasn't. I was like, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. And then I hear that you were single, and I'm like, oh my God, we're not gonna get married, honey, but next year we're gonna be together on Christmas. and I'm so sorry if I sound bipolar right now, but this is the first time that like I said, that you brought me like a smile and hope, because I'm not gonna give up on my kids.
No, yeah, please don't.
I'm not, and
So he took custody. He has custody of your kids, or he just took them and ran off, or?
No, he took them, and I called the cops, and I have people that they said that he wasn't allowed to take them out of the state.
And he took him anyway. He took him out of the state.
Yeah, and whenever I called the cops, they didn't say anything, and then he came back, and and this is the crazy thing, that at court he took his wife, right, and I couldn't even really say anything, because you can say only like certain things, right? And his lawyer was being a bitch and stuff. I'm sorry my language, and at the end he said, when they said he made it seem like I didn't care for my kids. I never missed one appointment. I never missed any.
So let me do this.
And that's
What's your name?
No, I don't want to say.
Oh yeah, you don't want to say your name. Okay, I have your number. I have your number. If you want to talk after, you don't have to if you don't want to, because I feel like, I don't know, this is like, we're live and a lot of people are hearing this.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I feel like you probably needed to vent and get this out too. But I also don't want you to put yourself in a situation. I can hit you up after the live stream if you want. Just talk.
Yes. I don't even know why I'm over here like being. It's calling doctor. I'm not calling Dr. Phil. I'm calling my future husband. Pero nomás quería decirte que, thank you so much for what you're doing, and I feel that, that you bring hope to so many people, and you should be an investigator or something. Pero yeah, I would love to talk to you about, maybe you can advise me on how to do things, and I would really appreciate.
We could probably relate in some situations too, probably, but yeah.
Well, this is that phone, or I can send you my cell phone number or something.
Is the number you're calling in the number for you? The number that you called in now, or just a different number?
That's the house phone number, but you can call me. I mean, I'm always home.
All right, I'll call you there, and then we'll exchange cell phones.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Wow. That was deep, man. That kind of caught me. I'm going to get some messages tonight. What? That was deep. I felt really bad for her. I was trying to. I got some of what she was saying. I was because the quality of the audio wasn't that great. It was a little, but it seems like a custody situation, and like the file or something just took off. And yeah, maybe I can get Rabbit, because Rabbit used to do. She was in social. What do they call that shit? Social work. That was deep, bro. That took me off guard. Like, she was really nice and sweet, and made me laugh, but then I also felt really sad at the same time, and then laughed again. I don't know, but those kind of calls too really like touches my heart. When people tell me like, they've been like, going through shit, and like they join and like, they gotta laugh or smile or whatever. That like, got me there.
Hey.
All right, 757. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Is it me?
It's you.
Yay! Hello, Mel.
Hi,
Melly Mellow. I want to call you Mellow.
Oh yeah.
Melly Mellow.
You sound familiar.
What? I want to say this. It's Red Base.
Oh, Red Base. Okay, yes. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. I appreciate your support. And you called in last time.
Well, I'm trying to be on like the funny part of life.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is so much sadness out there, and people that are suffering that you just don't know where they're coming from.
Right.
and that's what I think a lot of us love about you is because you're very empathetic. And I'm not going to take up a whole lot of time, but I just want to say Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's to you too.
I stayed up. Yay, woohoo.
You were there for
Happy New Year's to everybody.
that? Oh my God.
Yes, I went to sleep at 7:30, and then I woke up at 11, and then Lufty had like a rock and roll kind of thing going on with his fireworks, and then you came on, and I'm like, okay. So then at like 1:30, I started having a little sippy sip, and I said, well, heck, I'm just going to stay up till my friends on the West Coast, you know, which is 3 o'clock our time. So I wished them Happy New Year's. And I said, well, heck, I'll just stay up till Hawaiian time because I do believe you have some people from Samoa or Hawaii watching you. Not many, but a few. And then after that, I'm like, well, you know what? The Midway Islands, 7 o'clock, rolling in on our Eastern time. I said, heck yeah. And I haven't done this. Gosh, I don't think I ever did it. But, yeah, it was kind of cool. And it was fun. And I'll do this next year if I have to go to bed at 5:30.
Stay up super late. Yeah, I know. We had a lot of fun. That was a pretty wild night.
It was fun. And you have a really great crew of people. And like I said, you're very empathetic.
Thank you.
Towards other people. Yeah. And that do need it. And this is a weird kind of, you know, channel, crime scene kind of thing going on. But really, I think that you do a very good job about being a leader in a nice sort of way.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Red Base.
All right, dude. Well, maybe one day we'll meet. Probably not, but maybe one day. Have a good evening.
Yeah, for sure.
And, yeah, we'll be hanging out and listening to you.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. Peace and love.
Peace and
Good
love.
night.
Bye. All right, let me get these other two callers. I closed the line because these other people have been on hold for like 20 minutes, so I want to try to get them. 808, how you doing? Where are you calling from?
Hey.
Hi. Hola.
Hey, Mel, it's Diane from Hawaii.
Diane from Hawaii. Hi, how you doing?
I'm
You good? Cut out.
I'm good. I'm kind of getting a delay here. Should I shut my phone off?
Yeah, definitely just listen to the phone. Don't like the YouTube or whatever. Close the YouTube out. There's like a 28-second, almost 30-second delay from real time to YouTube done.
How do I do this?
Close out YouTube.
Anyway, I just wanted to say Happy New Year to you and your family and everybody in the chat. And I'm just thinking about
Hola.
I'm thinking about the yeah, here I am. I shut the phone off finally. The whole thing about Savanah.
Yes.
And I know friends from the mainland, and they were kind of like in the drug scene on the mainland. And my friend's cousin got shot and was set up by his baby girl. Oh. And just that whole situation is a bad situation to be put into. And as a senior citizen, I just feel really distressed that the young folks get into these kind of situations in their lives, and then they have so much to live for and so much to go for. And it's a hard life. And we all have our troubles, but we don't want to bring them onto ourselves that way either, right?
Right. I think maybe sometimes
I just wanted
the fast life sometimes is attractive to people. Fast earnings.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're not really thinking of the full consequences, especially at that age. You know, like I've done a lot of dumb stuff.
Exactly, and Yeah, and my friend, he moved to Hawaii just to get out of that life, and he's so grateful that he did.
Yeah.
And if there's something we could tell people, I don't know what it is. That's not a good life to live, and be positive and stay with your families and give out the love to your families, and maybe try to get them out of that if they're there.
Right.
Because I really do think that they were set up. To me, it sounds like it was a very much premeditated setup to me. And it's just wrong. The whole thing is just wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that you're around giving us all these shows. I watch all your shows, and
thank you.
I like all the information that you give us, and it's amazing what other people do in their lives and what happens in their lives. I guess I'm just grateful for what I have in my life. Sure. And grateful that you guys are out there and I can watch you guys.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. Aloha.
Aloha. Take care. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Take care. That was a nice call. Nice call. Duty Ron's in the chat. Hey, Duty Ron. Thank you for the super chat too. Duty Ron sent me a 20. He says, thanks for the extended coverage. Thank you. He's been covering the case as well. He had Carlos on tonight. Carlito. And I was hoping to. Carlos has shown us a little bit of the outside, like preview tonight, but he's not really. I guess because he had an issue with some neighbor. I wish I would have caught it in real time and saw it myself. But I heard some neighbor walked up to him, maybe screaming or something, saying she doesn't want to be recorded. And since then, he's kind of like, I guess he's not really going out there. 303, how you doing? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Denver.
From Denver. Hi,
how you doing now?
Good.
My name is Shirley. I've been in your chats and I've been watching you since Letitia Stout.
Oh,
Lord give us hope.
Oh, what a case. Yeah.
I'm having some issues with this timeline on this Savanah case.
Uh-oh.
And also, well, it's really confusing because I think it was her mom or her grandmother said that they talked to her on the 22nd, and then they seen them getting in a car. Then they said that they didn't have a cell phone in the car or a gun, but they found a cell phone, which is kind of confusing. And wait a minute now. You can't have one and then find one in there if there's not one there. And if you talk to somebody on the 22nd, but you're dead 12 hours before that, how is that possible?
So, yeah, the whole 21st, 22nd thing, because who was it that said they spoke to her? It was like family or something? They said they spoke to her on
It was her family.
Yeah, I don't know why they said that, because it was like on the 21st, but like close to midnight. So yeah, they wouldn't have spoken to her on the day after. But so yeah, I don't know what happened with that. I know some people brought that up and have mentioned that. Carlos got offline.
And I'm also having a really big issue. I have that same vehicle that they were found in. I'm 5'4", and I can stand up outside that car and look over to the passenger side.
Yeah.
And that person that got out of that car was too short to be, what's his face, Chris.
Chris. Mm.
If you look at his statue and look at that person that got out of that car for that quick second,
yeah,
there's a big height difference. A big height difference. Then, what bothers me is Dad gave up Chris real quick.
Yeah.
He gave him up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, and I could be wrong, but we'll find out as the case drags out. I'm thinking it was somebody else in that house that did this. And because Chris is 19, never had a record, they figured he won't get punished as harsh as they would.
I really don't know.
Does that make sense to you?
I've heard some people like on Facebook and like have those theories. I really don't know. Like I for sure believe there's a third person like that video, which I even wonder. I don't even know if the police noticed it or not, because I feel like it was after people on social media pointed out the towel thing. It's like when finally, after a couple of days, reporters started to ask, and police never mentioned the towel situation until after social media did, and even the family is referencing it now. I definitely believe there's another person involved. I don't know to what extent, like it's just going along for the ride or whatever. And as far as you mentioning the Kia thing, yeah, I don't know how tall Chris is. Seemed like maybe, I don't know. I can't even tell, but I had initially thought that the person that got out of the Kia was a woman. I mean, it was hard to tell. The quality wasn't great. And then, I don't know, when Chris came out at first, I thought he was a woman too. But then, like, he walked a little bit closer, and I was like, oh, no, I guess not. So I don't know if it's like a distance thing and stuff. I'm not really sure.
But I think Chris was in the truck with his dad, and it was either the girlfriend or the wife that was driving the car.
Right. I have no idea.
Because why? I'm not going to keep you much,
no, you're good.
But that's just my theory. I'm just like, wait, I'm reading this and I'm going through Facebook and I'm watching you and but the other ones out here streaming it. I'm like, something is not adding up here. Something is not clicking here. And I watch a lot of crime, IDTV and all that. And I'm like, no, something ain't right.
Yeah.
Something is not right with this story.
All right.
Well, and I think once they get to the bottom of it, they'll figure it out and everybody will be happy and let them families rest. And that poor angel didn't even get to take his first breath in this world, and his parents just like did away with him.
Thanks, I appreciate the call. Thank you for the support.
You too, and take care of that beautiful child of yours too.
Thank you. Bye. Yeah, I mean, let me get these other two callers. Chris's story, I don't believe it. This whole Matrix story that, I don't know. What did he say? He said that the gun was pointed at him, so he did this redirect thing, and then Savanah got shot, and then the gun was pointed at him again, and so he did this maneuvering thing, and then the other person was dead. I don't believe that. And there's people that think the father was more involved or not. I don't know. I don't necessarily think the towel person was deeply involved. I feel like that person just went along for the ride, type of thing. They don't have knowledge. They knew the murder. I don't know. 210. We got 210 calls. So 210-350. First call. 210-350. How you doing? I think it's local.
No, this is Wani. How are you?
Lenny?
It's Wani.
Wani, okay. Wani, hey, and you're in Texas?
Hey, yeah. I'm in
I didn't know you were in Texas. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I wanted to call you first and say Happy New Year to you and your baby.
Happy New Year, thank you.
And she's gorgeous.
Thank you.
And also, I've reached another milestone. It's been 3 years since you covered my nephew. And yesterday, it's the anniversary when they found him. So this case has been triggering for me. But I wanted to thank you again for being so just diligent and looking into everything that you do and helping so many families, because it does mean a lot to the families. And it means a lot to me. Excuse me, this pollen is killing me.
Oh, you're good.
I just want to thank you.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. I know I've seen you in the chat for a long time, and supporting me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just want to let you know I appreciate you, and just to say thank you. And hey, Kitty Coo, hey, Purple Coconut, me, you,
Purple Passion,
Lefty, all the mods. And as far as this case, I will tell you, just around here in San Antonio, just talking to a few people, the one thing that they keep talking about is the beginning, when the family said that the neighbors were talking about seeing them get into a different car.
The Cadillac thing?
Yeah. And they're wondering if they actually were picked up and something happened to them and they went back, and maybe Chris went back or Dad went back and got the car and then put them in the car, which would explain the dragging on Matthew. But I mean, I don't know, but that's a lot of people's theories. That's in my little area, because we did search and drive around looking for their car.
Oh, you did?
But the areas where I am, of course, we didn't find it. So it was really difficult, so helping out as much as we could, we did, so. But I hated the ending to this, regardless of what they did,
Right.
in their life. Nobody deserved that. So, but again, thank you for taking my call. I'm not going to stay on here long, and thank you for everything that you do for everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for the support.
You got that, Daddy. You got that, Daddy. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Really nice calls. The one caller really threw me off. The one that, didn't want to say her name. She was very emotional. Let's see what this is here. Let me just see. I wonder if this reporter that said she was gonna. Oh, by the way, this is cute. Just show this. This is Matthew as a baby though. And so Yenny Rodriguez was saying that I'm sure baby Fabian looked like him. And then they did an ultrasound picture of baby Fabian. Let me just see if they came out. The reporter said they were going to do like an update or something, but nothing yet. Let me pull up news from San Antonio. Let me pull up this live TV thing here real quick too, and see, because it's about to be 10 o'clock, right, in Texas. So. Here it is. They're doing new weather. Okay, so let me close out the phone lines. That was a really good live stream. Thank you guys for coming through. The calls, man. The calls get me sometimes. The calls, oh my god. Jeweled Monkey, thank you for the 10 says, I double dared hoax to call with me. All I have to say is Happy New Year and I love you all. Good vibes too. All is us, moi. Thank you. I hope you and the family are doing great. Bold Crime, thank you for the 5 says, hey Mel from the UK, close to 200K. Yeah, we're almost there. I was gonna say it's a slow hump, but it's really not, because we've done like almost, I think, like 10,000 subs in like 10.2. So I can't complain at all. But yeah. So that was it for tonight. That's the information for the funeral. Oh, this weird cough thing that's like lingering. It's not leave me alone. Got some really good calls. I'm gonna call that lady back too after the stream. Somebody said, "How did Mel become a psychiatrist?" I don't know. I just get along with people, like even in person like that. I don't know. I've had random people just walk up and talk to me. All right, let me see. Live chat. Carlos, he got off live. I was hoping he was going to show us more of the outside, but I understand. I respect it. He was having issues with a neighbor, and I guess he didn't want to really talk about it. He's gotten a lot of love from people, and some people were trying to encourage him to do bad stuff, and he wasn't going to do that, but they were trying to encourage him to. And I don't know what that is. Thank you guys. Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming through tonight. I'm going to arrest after this. If there's a chase, we'll do it. Oh, as far as for the people that were here for that explosion, they gave I checked for an update. The update was that an Asian restaurant named Musam that was in the basement of the hotel, that's where the explosion happened. There were no customers inside. 3 restaurant workers were injured but stable. I don't know if any other Sandman signature. And there was actually 21 people injured. 21 injuries, but I don't see any deaths, so that's good at least. An explosion that blew out at least 2 floors of a high-rise hotel. Wow. So, no fatalities reported. Oh, Wilson says, Duty Round said the neighbor called the police on media, so he's nervous. Okay. Luffy, so stupid. Asian restaurant, they use too much spice in their cooking. Oh my god. Did I see the judge? Yeah, he got sentenced. The guy walked in. Do I have that video up? He walked in and was sentenced again. Or yeah.
How much could I find the sentence? I was in the record.
By the way, I saw the picture. People sent me the picture of one of the people that defended her. This guy literally had like a hole in his head. I can't show it here. This from the attack, the guy had like some type of his skin was like peeled somewhere, peeled up. You could see the inside. So now that they walked this guy back out, they got, I don't know what kind of cuff links this is. I hope they have like a shock device on him. He has a mesh surrounding his entire head, the circumference of his head, and some type of guard on his face so he can't bite or spit probably.
Mr. Almasi is here now.
And I think it's great that this judge was like, you know what? I'm not going to run from this. Sure, I could give this to somebody else. I want you to come back.
Good morning. All right, this is on for the continuation of Mr. Redden's sentencing.
And this time I got a bunch of cops there.
When we were last here, arguments were concluded and the court had begun to pronounce sentence when an incident occurred. An incident initiated by Mr. Redden, preventing the court from completing sentencing. That is the sole purpose for today's hearing. Any other issues that may arise from the events that occurred.
And if I was her, this judge, I'd have a bat under the desk with me or something. Some type of bat, taser, pepper spray. I'd have something like taped right under the desk if I was her. Moving on forward after this shit.
Handled at a future date by a different court. For purposes of the record, I want to make it clear that I am not changing or
I wonder what this thing is. Is that like an emergency buzzer?
Modifying the sentence I was in the process of imposing last week before I was interrupted by defendant's actions.
Ooh, excuse me.
I am making my calendar page from that day an exhibit for the court as it existed the moment I walked in. Prior to anything happening, nothing's been changed, indicating the sentence I intended to impose. Although I give it back for a moment. All right, that being said, in accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court does now sentence you, in addition to the $25 administrative assessment fee, $150 DNA fee, the $3 DNA administrative assessment fee, and $250 indigent defense fee, 19 to 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. How much credit for time served does he have?
It's 0 days. He was on probation when he committed the offense and was revoked on probation to serve the jail time.
Look, he's ready to attack too at any moment.
On October 25th, that time it expired at or about the time of the plea. So,
0 days credit. Mr. Almasi, if that's different, let us know and we'll fix it.
I will.
The motion to quash mandatory is moved at this point. And for the record, I just reflexively wrote 0 days credit time served on the notes the exhibit that I just said. So that is an addition as of right now.
That's correct. The probation case number, just for the record, is C370775.
Thank you.
My name is LaDonna Daniels, Ladonna, and
Don't tell me this is mama.
Daniels, Daniels.
In your relationship?
I'm his sister.
Sisters.
Can you just tell us, we've only seen the videos, so tell us about he's your half brother, right?
No, he's my whole
He's your
brother.
full brother, so tell us about your brother and the brother that we haven't seen. Who is he like, what is he like, and how did he get in this situation?
Well, he's basically born with mental illness. He was born with crack cocaine in his system. So his chance in life was taken at birth. Deep inside, he's a good person. He's just not had the opportunity in life to be surrounded by positive people.
That person that had his head open, right? Let me see. The marshal's head. Yo, I mean, literally there's a hole in his head.
Do you want to grow your coding skills? We can help with that. We're Codecademy, and we've taught millions of people the tech skills needed to reach their goals. It all starts with our interactive platform, where you get hands-on experience to create your next personal project or work towards.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, this guy, Marshall, literally has a hole in his head. So, I mean, I can empathize, I guess, I don't know, he was born a drug baby, a crack baby or something. But, I mean, you're not just going to keep getting passes at life. I think this guy apparently had like a long-ass criminal history.
Meeting his own family. I can see that my brother just felt betrayed at the time when he was pleading and saying that he was in a better place, which is different for us all to be in a better place. I mean, when we struggle from mental illness, it's a chemical imbalance, just as most addicts have chemical imbalances out there. Who wants to stop using, who can't. It's something that we suffer from. I don't think sending him to prison is going to deter anybody who suffers from a mental illness. They need to be surrounded by healthcare professionals who can treat him and so that he gets the right treatment that he needs.
He's been in and out of mental health court, so now he's going to go to prison.
Oh, he has been in and out of health mental stuff?
Professionals who can treat.
And this goes back to the conversation. I've been saying this lately. I have honestly, I don't know if it sounds bad, I feel like we need to bring back asylums.
Him and so that he gets the right treatment that he needs.
He's been in and out of mental health court, so now he's going to go to prison on this thing. Like you were saying to me when we were walking down here, you don't think that that's going to help him in any way?
It's not, because the people in prison are trained to, for prisoners. They're not trained for people who.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think we need to now the asylums. Some of the things that went back down in the asylums were pretty bad. Some of the things I heard of, maybe some type of, I don't know, reform, whatever they call it. I just think some people like this guy, I don't know his whole history, but if you see what he did to this other person and how many people it took to subdue him, okay? I can't even show this. See what happens is, let me show you what happens. That's why I don't want to mess up my video, my live stream, because some of these videos get flagged. So that's why I don't even want to show whatever it is, whether it's the hole in this guy's head or this guy attacking the other person. I don't want to mess up what we did with this live stream right now. Yeah, they show the hole in this guy's head. I think they show it somewhere. They show the attack. It's all over the internet, though. Let me see this.
Big commotion.
Daniel Martin was here as he was waiting to be sentenced.
Honestly, I was super surprised. Like, I've never seen anything like that in my whole life. Like, That looked like something out of the NFL or something like that, you know?
He says he wanted to help the judge. His public defender told him to stay back.
I was in a conflict because as a natural man, you want to protect the woman.
Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson says he spoke with Judge Holthus, who is okay but bruised and shaken up.
And I don't know if that hole in the head happened as a result of him like hitting something, not directly that this guy did something to him, but yeah, I don't know. We need to get some type of facilities for these people that are a danger to society, because while I understand, people have mental health, I'm not going to let you just, you kill me and it's okay, we're just going to forgive you. You need to be put in some type of facility. Maybe you'll get help, maybe you won't, I don't know, but like innocent people don't deserve to die for that.
Who suffers from mental illnesses, so he will not get the proper treatment that he needs.
This case went internationally viral.
And maybe they can create a bunch of jobs out of that.
How has your family been dealing with that?
Well, we've all just been thinking more, of our rights as individuals. And anybody whose mind is not of a normal person should not be judged in a manner of a person who's normal like you and myself. He tried to speak for himself, which I just think he shouldn't have never been allowed to take the stand or speak on his own behalf because of his condition.
What was your thought when you saw this video?
Wonder what conditions he has.
Yes, I just think his reactions were not premeditated. It was triggered because he seemed to have been pleading for his freedom. He has been off his psych meds since he got out of jail, but because he doesn't have an appointment until March of this year, so he has not taken anything at all. And I think when the judge says, it's time for you to get a taste of, became a trigger, and in his mind, he felt threatened. We all have the capabilities to do what Diopra did, and that is to leap that high with our fight or flight mechanism.
That was crazy, the leap that guy took. Anyway, I'm going to get some rest. If there is a chase tonight, of course, I will be back. Thank you guys so much for coming through tonight. I appreciate that. Please subscribe. We're almost at 200K. I'd appreciate that, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. If there's a chase, I'll be back tonight. If not, I'm going to rest and go to sleep. Thank you. Peace. Good night. Bye. Bloop, 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 bloop.